In this section, we are going to explore the basics of the link editor before continuing on to rough out the shapes for our fish. First, let's rename our object to something more descriptive since it no longer resembles a cylinder. In the link editor, left-click on the cylinder object to select it. Then left-click and hold on the upper left corner of the title bar for our object. Drag down to Rename Object and release the mouse button. Click in the Now Active Text Edit field and change the text to say Fish. When finished, press Enter. Another way to change the name of an object is to click in the Name field in the Info panel. Type in the new name and press Enter. For getting around the link editor, there are a few basic things that you need to know. The first is that left-click drag on the center of an object's title bar will allow you to move it around. This is important for organizing the bricks so that they are easier to see. Take note of the link editor widget, which is these two rectangles on the right-hand side. Dragging this around will pan the link editor so that you can get to the bricks that are out of view. Middle mouse click drag will also pan the link editor window, which is useful for those times when the widget is covered over by object bricks. Your link editor window probably doesn't have the object bricks organized like you see in the video. You may want to take a minute or two and move the bricks around so that you can more easily see and click on them. A single middle click in an empty space will center the currently selected brick. A right click in an empty space moves the bricks so that they are a fixed distance from the top of the link editor window. Right-clicking again centers all the objects and fits them to the window. If there isn't enough space to fit all the bricks in the view, TrueSpace will scale them to fit. Note that an object's panels cannot be used when in this view. Drag the top of the window up to increase the link editor size. Right-click again for each mode to see the difference where if there's enough space, the bricks will be centered without scaling. Right-click drag will also scale the view. Right-click in an empty space again to return to the default view. Middle-click drag or use the link editor widget to reposition the window contents. Be careful not to right-click on the bricks, since that will enter panel edit mode. If that happens, don't panic. Right-click on the brick's title bar, drag down to choose Cancel. This will exit panel edit mode. Also, it's worth noting that the LE window is a good visual way to tell what object is currently selected, and to change which object is selected. Click on the Plain Objects brick and you'll see that it shows that it's been selected by showing the white line for its left-click menu and its aspect tabs. Double-clicking on the title bar or clicking on one of the aspect tabs will expand its view. The Expanded tab shows all the object's exposed properties. The Default tab is the panel that will show in the stacked view when the object is selected. Since the plain object began life as a plain primitive, it still has the panel and properties for a plain primitive exposed. We could edit this panel and the exposed properties by using the panel edit mode, but that is a subject more relevant for a scripting or animation course. Double-click on the title bar again to make the brick go back to its minimized state. It's not always easy to select a brick by clicking on it if there are a lot of bricks overlapping, so the left and right arrow keys on your keyboard can also be used to help you in selecting between objects. The link editor window has its own settings panel. To bring this up, first click on the link editor's title bar. It'll display the lighter blue showing it's the selected window. Then click on the Settings tab. These settings are filters that determine what object types and connectors show, or don't show, in the link editor. Click the Panels tab to return to the Panel Stack view. Also of interest is that the bottom panel in the Panel Stack view will update to display the default aspect of the selected object. For example, click on the Viperfish bitmap object and select its default tab. Note how the default tab is the same as what is now showing in the panel stack. The final thing you need to know about getting around in the link editor is about the orange squares on the objects and the orange triangle on the link editor's aspect tab. Clicking a brick's orange square will enter that object. If we enter the fish object, you can see that it has a material list node, an editable shape node, which is the fish's mesh geometry, a transform node, and lastly the original primitive node. Click on the orange triangle on the link editor's aspect menu to go back up to the scene level. Line up the bricks with the top of the window and drag the link editor window back down to the smaller size we had it at previously. Click on the fish object's brick to select it. We're now ready to start roughing out the fish. See you in Chapter 3.